Okay, so this video, I'm just going to be breaking down this trade that I took here on AU. It was a 23 pip trade. Yeah, I just want this video to be like a reminder of how easy trading really can be, because I understand how you start to overcomplicate trading the more you get into it. As a beginner, when you're watching all these trading videos, it gets really complicated. And eventually, when you do figure it out and you understand trading, eventually you start overcomplicating it. You start over analyzing the chart. So I just want you guys to watch this video and it be like a refresher on how like simple trading is. And you don't have to overcomplicate anything if you just stick to normal textbook market structure, liquidity, supply and demand, chocks, premium versus discount. How really basic trading can be. Like literally this trade, I think it probably took like 2 hours to hit TP, and I literally took it in class today at school. But yeah, let's hop into the breakdown. So first things first, I'm gonna start on the weekly time frame. You can see that there was a sweep of liquidity. And if we go down into the daily time frame, you can see that sweep of liquidity more clearly here. Also, I want you guys to ignore this wick. This wick happened during the whole Trump thing and all, like bunch of news, heavy news was coming out. So I want you guys to ignore like all of this basically. But yeah, what do we see? So if we go back to the weekly time frame, we see this lower low, we see this lower high. And why is this a lower high? Because if you look closely, this wick never actually went below this wick, so that's why it is a lower high. And then we see another lower low, and then a higher high, which broke this market structure. So on the daily time frame, we see this push down, push up, push down, push up, breaking structure. A push down, this is where we grab liquidity, and then another push up, breaking market structure again. So that's what told us that there is a market structure shift, and we're now looking for upsides. And what are we targeting? We're probably targeting these this liquidity low trend line over here and the 0.5 zone here. Why the 0.5? Because that's premium versus discount. If we draw in the Fibonacci retracement, we see this 0.5 is right here, or you could draw in the PFD, premium versus discount, and that is perfectly on the premium versus discount. So that is what we're targeting for the next few days. So what do we understand about trading so far? If we're in an uptrend, like so, whenever we break a previous high, a higher high, we always retrace. As you can see, we broke this high. So what are we expecting? We're expecting a retracement, probably into premium versus discount. Not always, if it's very bullish, but we are expecting a move down before a continuation, because market will never just continue up like this, or the market will never just continue down just like this. There's going to be bumps in the road. So going back to the chart, when we see this break of structure, what are we expecting? We're expecting a pullback, and again a break of this structure. And what are we expecting? We're expecting a pullback before a continuation into the upside. So now that we understand that, if we go down to the 4 hour time frame, this is what I was looking at on the 4 hour time frame. We basically saw this break of structure, and what we're expecting a pullback before a continuation. So I waited for the pullback to end before entering a long for this continuation. So after this break, I marked out this zone of demand. Technically, you could mark out this entire move down before the push up, but I like to refine my demand zone, so I refined it on the latest push down before the push up. And why is this the latest push down before the push up? Because if you look carefully, if you zoom in really close to the candlesticks, you can see that this candle wick never went below this candle wick, telling us that this whole move until this candle wick was a move up before a move down into this candle wick over here. So I just drew my demand zone from wick to wick. Now you've probably heard everywhere that you need liquidity in the move up, or else it's not technically a valid zone of demand. And for you guys would probably see this. You guys would probably see this push up and be like, but there's no liquidity in the leg. So what makes this a valid zone of demand? But what makes it a valid zone of demand is if you look to the left, you'd see these equal lows. and that is what your liquidity is. So normally you'd see people say that you need liquidity above the demand zone for it to be a valid zone of demand. So in this case, this bump in the road would act as your liquidity. But you should also learn liquidity before the leg up. So for example, let's say there was consolidation, a sweep of this liquidity before a huge push up into the upside, then we can count this entire move down, or you could refine it to the latest move move up, move down before the push up. You could see that this is still a valid zone of demand because it swept liquidity to the left, just like that. So in this case, if we go back down to the chart, you can see, give me a second. You can see that this consolidation was broken and it grabbed liquidity under the consolidation before it continued to break market structure. So that's what I saw to validate this zone of demand. Now, once price does enter this zone of demand, you don't want to just blindly enter a trade like this, or just stop below like this, because price could always just continue, and then just switch direction. So what you want to do is go down into a lower time frame, something like the 15-minute time frame. And what you want to look for after price enters the medium time frame demand zone, which in this case was the 4-hour time frame demand zone. You want to look for a chalk. Now, what is a chalk? That just stands for a change of character. So what you can see here is you can see a push down, push up, push down, and then you can see a push up breaking this previous high. So that's when I drew on my new demand zone, sorry, which was this push down before this push up breaking this previous high. On top of that, which made this demand zone an even stronger demand zone, was the liquidity that was placed right above the demand zone. And all the liquidity is the bump in the road that's right above the demand zone that acts as liquidity. Then all you gotta do is place your limit order on top of the demand zone with your stop loss below the demand zone and targeting a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, or you could target the previous highs, which actually I could have gotten a higher return, but that's okay. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you reset your mind and stopped all the overcomplication that goes behind trading. All you gotta do is look at the weekly time frame or the daily time frame to see what's happening. Go down to a medium time frame like the 4-hour or the 1-hour time frame, and you look for a trend, and then you want to spot where you are in the trend. So if I show you, let's say this is the medium time frame, you want to spot where you are in the trend. Are you in the move down before the continuation into the upside? Are you in the upside already, or are you at the reversal phase down here? Remember, you don't want to be trading, like let's say there was a break of structure like this. You don't want to, oh shit. You don't want to be trading up again, because what do we know? After a break of structure, we're expecting a pullback, and we don't know when that pullback is going to happen. So if you ever see a break of structure, you don't want to be FOMO buying or FOMO selling. You want to wait for that retracement to come, wait for the chalk, and then enter your buys, targeting the previous highs. But yeah, once you recognize where you are on the medium time frame, you want to drop into 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, whatever you like trading on. Let's say in this case we were in the move down. So obviously, what would this move down look like? It'd be like this on the 15-minute time frame, right? This move down would look like this on the 15-minute time frame. What you're gonna do is then wait for that chalk, the break of structure, and then draw your demand zone just like this. Look for liquidity, look for all your confirmations, your PFDs, your Fibonacci retracement tools, or whatever you do, and then you enter your trade. It's simple as that. But do remember that price isn't always going to go in your directional bias. Sometimes you're going to have losing trades, but the most important thing is that you just stick to your strategy. If you know it's a winning strategy, you back test or you forward test, you just stick to your strategy. And if you take a loss, then you take a loss and you move on to the next trade. I highly recommend and highly suggest that you guys learn how probability works in trading. Because let's say you have a 50% win rate. That doesn't mean you're going to win a trade and lose a trade, then win a trade and lose a trade. You could lose over a long run. You could lose 5 trades in a row, but then you could win the next 5 in a row. But that's like a whole nother video in itself. But what you got to do is remember, I have it here written on my wall: market structure, supply and demand, premium versus discount, liquidity, and chalk, which is change of character. You just need to understand that and master that, and you'll be good, honestly. But yeah, I hope this video helped. If you do want to join my Discord, I post every single one of my trades there, and I have a community where everyone's posting their trades, posting their wins. So the link for that will be in the description. But other than that, thank you for watching.